Hey, welcome back to another video. I hope you are doing well. Today is the second video that I'm gonna do about how to find great investment opportunities and where to actually find some inspiration on what companies and what industries you can invest in. In the last video I did, you can have a look on my YouTube page. I talked about some information that you find in Spaceship Voyager and how you can use the information that they share to their customers for your investments and maybe to find some investment opportunities. Today, we want to talk about how you can find information on a different website, and it's actually fully for free. You don't need to really sign up for anything. You just need to leave your email address if you want to get those information. And this is from Ark Invest. I've talked about Ark Invest in the past. Ark Invest is a company that offers ETFs, and those ETFs are around disruptive innovation. They have a number of different ETFs that cover a range of different combinations of companies that you can invest in. And I've done a video around what type of investments you can make. But today we want to focus on how you can use the information that they share on their website for your benefit, on getting information about different companies, using their research to see what the changes are in their portfolios, in their different ETFs, and also about their weekly updates on the stocks that they have in their portfolios. So we're gonna see at least those three informations that you can get, and I give you a bit of an idea on what information you can expect if you sign up for their newsletters. And I'll also show you exactly how you can sign up for their newsletters. So I'm gonna share my screen again, and we're gonna go on to the Ark Invest website. So here you see the website. It's ark-invest.com, and you just need to Google Ark Invest, and it will be your first pick on the website. And again, Ark Invest is a US company that offers a range of ETFs. And the first thing that you see is investment solutions, because that's the main thing that they do. They have a different number of ETFs, but again, I've covered a little bit of that in different videos. We don't want to focus on that right now, but we want to figure out how we can use that website and their information to find great opportunities to invest in. And to do that, we can go into the research center, and there you see already a number of different things that you can look at. You either find articles about companies that they are covering. You find white papers that is more around either industries or services that they have a really deep look into, and they try to explain why or why not a specific industry could outperform other industries, and what is good and what is bad about those industries. And we're gonna have a look in some examples in just a moment. And the last thing will be signing up for their newsletters, and I'm gonna show you what they look like. And I would say we start with the newsletters. So when you click on newsletters, you can explore, and I think I open it here, but it actually doesn't matter. You can say, I want to subscribe for some updates from Ark Invest. And that's actually pretty cool, because you can say, yes, I want to stay informed about what Ark Invest has to say. And you can either stay informed about different topics. So there are different informations that they share on different topics. So you can say what you really want to know more about. And another thing that I really found interesting are those two, either the advisor updates, and we're going to see what they look like. Here, they want to prompt me again, even though I already subscribed. And the other thing is the investment product updates, and they actually show what they sell and buy in their ETFs. And let's jump into this first. So the investment updates. So I get basically an email every day, and that's pretty cool, because each of the emails that I get has really, really detailed information about what companies they sell on each day and what companies they buy on each day. And you would think, oh, how often should that happen? Because they don't often really change a position or add a new position. And that's right. But they obviously change the size of their position every day. So you get a hell lot of information of buy and sell orders that they do daily, and you get that basically after a trading day. And it might look overwhelming, but I also give you an idea on how to filter that information. And there's even a website as well that helps you in seeing and filtering that information. So going into the details, you can see that I get basically an email every day. I got one over the last week every day, and I got one this morning. Obviously, I'm in Australia. And you can see in this email is a list of all purchases, so buys and sells, that Ark Invest did in their different funds. So from the fund short name, you can see the different funds. And the ones that I usually focus on is the Ark K, which is the biggest one of Ark Invest, and that's the innovative ETF. And you can see they bought some more Nintendo, and they're actually buying into Nintendo already for quite some time. So if I would go back into some emails, I actually would see that they have bought Nintendo for quite some time now. And actually very easy, especially in Gmail, you could just take the name and search for it. Let's do that right now. And you will see that they have basically Nintendo in a lot of their purchase updates. So this year they did on 23rd, on 27th, and when we look into it, we can see that Nintendo, here we go, again, also a buy. No? But I really wanted to give you a bit of an idea. But going back to that one email, you can see that, okay, here, so Nintendo, Compugene, also this is obviously a sell, and really just those two buys, and the other ones are sell. And again, I would expect that most of those buys and sells are just readjusting the position size of the holdings that they have. And even when they sell, it does not necessarily mean that they are not longer interested in a company. For example, they did some sell orders from Tesla, even though they are still expecting the company to grow much further. But the position got so large because the share price increased so much that they had to basically take profits to reduce the position size. And we can have a look into the position size if we want. It's actually quite easy as well. You basically just go back to their website. You go into Ark Disruptive Innovation ETF. That's Ark K. And you can see Explore ETF. And you can see that you can see all holdings, but we just want to have a look at the top holdings at the moment. You can see that it's around, Tesla has still around 10% of the entire portfolio, no? And they're holding Tesla already for a number of years now. And so they had to reduce it because it was just growing too much. Anyway, this is one thing to look at, is the email updates that they get on their buy and sells. The second email that I get from them, that's probably on a weekly basis, is emails around updates of investments that they make. So the idea is that they provide an update on the companies that they are covering in their ETFs, and the information that they share is when there was a massive increase in the share price because something happened, for example. So if there are events happening, either positive or negative, on companies that they are covering and that they are invested in, they're going to share that in their weekly newsletter. And I think it comes even more often. So not weekly, but not daily, but probably, at least twice a week, I would say. and we're going to see that. So as you can see here, it actually, at least twice a week, no? So 25th, 23rd, 19th. So you can see the dates over here. So actually very frequent, or at least once. I think those are two different updates. Anyway, those ones with all the different names of the stocks, we'll have a quick look at. And you can see that they have a really, really short update on what happened to those stocks. And you will see either really big increases or sometimes even big losses. So they are not shy in sharing that as well. But obviously at the moment, the market just tend to go up more than it does go down. So, but yeah, for example, an update on NIO, and don't think this is the electric car company. The electric car company is NIO, and this is NIO. They also do something with electric vehicles, but it's electric scooters. And it got it actually got higher quite a bit. And they also say why, published by Research Markets. So it's a report. They don't say what the report was, but it seems like it was a positive report. And I actually had a look at their webpage at some point. Pretty cool looking scooter, and I think they are one of the leaders in that field at the moment. Another update, and some of you might have obviously already seen it because it's a stock that is in the media quite a bit. It's Netflix. And when you look at the share price from this year, it actually was basically actually since the last couple of months, sorry, not this year. After COVID, it actually got up quite a bit. But over the last couple of months, it was in one range and not much was happening actually. But they released their results, their financial quarterly results, and they were very, very strong, more than what was forecasted and expected. And it actually jumped by almost 10% on the first day. Or even before opening, and then over the day it got higher again. So you can see plus 16% on Wednesday, and it's really, really good. I actually followed the announcement when they announced the numbers, and I looked at the report and was like, oh, that's amazing. No recommendation at all, as always when I speak about individual stocks. I have a position in Netflix as well, but already for quite some time, and I'm not going to sell any of them because I still believe that Netflix is a very good and forward-looking company. So yeah, but again, you see that there are a number of shares that they cover where they explain what's happening with them and why are they are either climbing, going up, or going down. Palantir, another stock that was in the media quite a bit over the recent time. I'm actually not sure how they are doing now. But yeah, it was already on the trading lists, probably on Reddit as well. Anyway, and yeah, the next thing, and this goes then a little bit more into detail, is the research area, and there I mentioned it already. There are two areas. One thing that is more around proper research about topics, and the other one is their updates about companies. And I'm going to share my screen again so that we see exactly what is so interesting here. So when you go to their website and you go on research, you see articles and white papers. And when you click on articles, they publish relatively regularly articles about either topics or companies. That happens more frequent than they do white papers, because the white paper actually has more research. So Tesla was in the focus again, and here that's also quite interesting. Something on Bitcoin, interesting topic at the moment, and they basically talk about what their view is on Bitcoin right at this moment. And you can see it's a very, very detailed information with a lot of background information on why they believe or why they have a certain view on either a topic or an investment. And they also provide all the updates, and they are very, very open about why they think in a certain way, and they're also open about where they got these information from. So on the bottom on each article, let's scroll down, and we usually see on where they have that information from. Not so much in this one, but if we go to another article, and this one is an article that was in the media a lot because they were talking about the price targets for Tesla. So I open that up, and this is a article that got shared a lot over the last couple of months. They published that in January last year. So end of January 2020. This was before COVID hit. And they basically projected the price target for Tesla. And they also explained why certain scenarios could happen and what price target they would believe would be possible for Tesla if certain scenarios happen. So they just provided opportunities, right? And that was in the media a lot. So their valuation before the split, before the stock split of Tesla was 7,000. So, and I think if I'm not entirely sure, so I think it was a 5-to-1 split. So I think that is even almost achieved. So even though the price target was for 2024, and I think we are actually almost there, which is amazing. And they say exactly why they think they have such an advantage before other car manufacturers as well, and they also show why they believe it's actually not a really car company, but more a technology company. And this was the spreadsheet, the table that got most attention, because they were exactly showing, and I might be able to make it a little bit larger. Here we go. This was the table that shows exactly the details, so the different scenarios, and I've talked about that in another video in detail as well. But yeah, very, very bull case, golden goose scenario, right? And somewhere in the middle, which was probably more accurate. But we are probably realistically, now that we saw the share price going up, we are probably now somewhere here what the market believes Tesla is capable of. But yeah, going back again, that was an article, and the last area is the white papers. And I just want to open one of these examples as well, because I think it's just really great to see what they are talking about. No? So the reports, you can actually download them. Very, very detailed what those reports are about. One, for example, was about Bitcoin again, and this one here from August. And as you can see, they are not publishing an article that often. There was one in August. In September there were two, and the last one is from October. But this one here actually piqued my interest. I have not read it yet, but if you download it, you can basically. You need to select your information, but it's around software as a service and why they believe now is the golden age of software for service companies. Yeah, really, really interesting. I think I will download that and will have a read, because that looks certainly interesting. And I'm invested in a lot of software as a service companies, and with my IT background, I still believe that this is the future, and people have not seen that. And have not seen the potential in software as a service in some areas. And the last thing, and I think this makes it just more convenient. I've talked about the buys and sells that Ark Invest is publishing in their emails. And it's very hard to read through what information should I gather now from it. And I think it makes it easier, because the information that we want to get out of that email is, when is Ark Invest establishing a new position in one of their funds into basically a new company that they think could potentially go up in the share market. They think it's potentially undervalued, or they believe the potential is just so high that they want to invest in it. And you could obviously monitor that email, and you could make a list on your own. And is this a new company? And you would have to go through all those emails. But As always, there's someone who was that one step further and created a web page that has exactly that information. So where you see what companies is Ark Invest now adding onto their portfolios, and you see that basically from day one. The web page called, and that's no advertising, no affiliation with them. I just found them, and I think it's really cool to share. The web page called Kathy's Ark, and Kathy's Ark, the website, so Kathy's Ark together.com. You see all of their ETFs, so all of the ETFs that Ark Invest is offering, and you see the individual holdings of that ETF. And again, this is based on the email that you get every day. And they say here, they even explain a little bit more, and the prices are updated in a 50 minutes update. And they also, so you can obviously see some information about what they are, some FAQs. Anyway, the most important thing is you see here the different ETFs that Ark Invest has, and even a list combined. And then you see either the holdings, you see all trades, which basically is exactly the information that you would get in the email, just condensed into the different ETFs to make it a little bit clearer. So you see which companies are just bought and sold in that one ETF. The weight ranking, that's obviously very cryptic, but you could see that you could basically see the changes for each company. So for example, ZM, is ZM Zoom? No, ZM Zoom is just, anyway, so what is ZM? So you could see when they increased their position. And let's see if we find another one that got up and down maybe. Here, it's a relatively new holding since January the 6th. Cash OH. Cash OH share price. Share price. Let's see what that is. It's Meta Financials. Yep. So that looks like it's the right company. Don't trust me here because it's obviously Cash OH, but I think it must be that, no? Cash OH. No. Anyway, it's probably a new one. The other one that I really piqued my interest is a European company, NVS. Let's do this one. NVS share price is Novartis, so the European pharmaceutical company, and they started buying Novartis, and we can see that in here. Let's go back to holdings. You can see what the latest, of course, unexpected error. You can see what the position changes were, and they started investing in NVS in January the 7th. It's still a very, very small position in this ETF. I think it's a larger position in one of the other ones, G, or I think it's in the G where it's larger. Yes, Novartis. Here we go. So 3%, I think, is the position size, the weight in that ETF. And again, you see where I wanted to go at. You can see what companies they are buying in each different ETF. So they started the position. Actually, I'll go back to Ark K because that's the one that I'm most interested in. You see when they started the position into a new company, and you can see when they closed a position in a company. And I find that really, really interesting to see. Again, this should not be advised to just follow them directly, but it can give you an indication of what companies to look at and in what companies to do a little bit more research on. As always, it's about making your own financial decision and not following anyone directly, doing what they say. You should be comfortable with what you invest in, and you should figure out what investments suits your personal situation. And especially don't trust someone on YouTube like me, because I'm not a financial advisor. Anyway, I hope this was interesting to you, and this little, or actually no, even a long one, run through on what information you can get from Ark Invest, what information they share, and what you can get out of it, depending on what you are interested in. Click the like button and follow me if you want to see future videos like that as well. And yeah, thanks, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Until then, bye.